Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel for this episode 15 here on Monteith with me, Farmer Murphy. And first, let me say I am really pleased to be back on here. I know it's probably been 3 weeks, I think, since we were together on the map, something like that. After the last patch that Giants released, whenever you started this map, it crashed FS25. And it's taken a little while for the map maker to get a patch out to the map to prevent that. But obviously that has been done and we are back. And I am really pleased about that because I am enjoying this series. So with that out of the way, let's get on with it. So it is April 1st, time for us to be putting our soybean and corn in the ground. And it's 7 o'clock on a rather foggy day, as you can see here on the farm. And our money is at $355,000. And we have currently 3 contracts in the bank for this month. 1 rolling contract and 2 hoeing contracts. But we'll talk some more about those in just a minute. So, what did you miss? Well, we did 2 contracts in November, and I think I actually might have shown these coming in. I can't remember. That was a little while ago, obviously. We did a cultivating contract for 15,000 and a stone picking for 8,000, but that was it for contracts. There haven't been any since then up until now. We did bale up the straw in our cornfield. We got 51 bales. We sold those. Oh, shoot, I didn't write down how much. What were we getting for a trailer load of straw? Wasn't it around 12, 13,000? Seems to me. And so this would have been 2 complete loads. So, call it about 25 grand. I think it's a pretty safe bet for that. And we sold our corn in December for 134,000. So as far as income, that's all we had. Now, you got to know Farmer Murphy spent some money, and you can see one just over my shoulder. What we did is we traded the Deutz, which had 74 hours on it when we traded it, and we traded it on this John Deere 8R. Now, this is an older model year. It's a 2018, but it only has, was it 14 hours, 13 hours? Oh, 13 and a half hours. Split the difference. So considerably less hours, although it is an older model year. And of course, look, can put the big fat tires on it. You know, I like that. So I think that was a pretty good trade. The Deutz plus 90,000 got us that tractor. And we also made a trade on our baler, our square baler. We had a nice modern Massey Ferguson square baler, as you might recall. That I was able to sell for nearly 80,000, 78,000, I believe it was we got for that. And I bought this older John Deere model that was in the used store for 6,000 bucks. So we came out ahead, 70 grand on that. So basically, we traded the Massey Ferguson and the Deutz for a John Deere tractor and an older John Deere baler. Pretty much squarish. I think $20,000 difference is about all we paid. But we just weren't doing enough square bale contracts to justify having a nearly $100,000 baler to do them. So I'm happy with that. Now, what else? I bought, it came up used, the bale stacker that I had leased, the same model, I should say. And that was, looking at my notes here, 19,000, and it's tucked over here in this foggy corner. Boy, it's really foggy in here, isn't it? Yeah, you can just see it starting to appear out of the fog there. So it's the exact same model that we had leased, but fortunately it came up used, so we now own that for 19,000. And if we run over here, and I have the B-Train trailers sitting here in our Quonset. These are now ours. They came up for sale used $60,000, and then I just had to paint them, of course, do some repairs. So we now own those. So that was like half price. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. And I put in this nifty header storage system. So you can store multiple headers. So I think that's pretty cool. Now we only have one header for now, but eventually I'm sure we'll have more. So I think that is all of the expenditures. Just let me check my notes here real quick. Yes, sir. Well, we got everything. You may be wondering where the rest of the money is, because that certainly does. We were at, what, 700 and some thousand before those contracts. I did pay off our loan, so we are debt free. So we don't own anything, and we don't have any leased equipment. Oh, not 100% true, actually, Farmer Murphy. I believe this vehicle, this truck here, is still leased. I don't think I bought that lease out, but that's the only vehicle that we have that is currently leased. So all the equipment we own and all of the land we own 100%. So I did kind of think about, oh, before we get into that, one thing you'll notice is not here, no semi-trailer truck. Remember we had that international from the Plains and Prairie pack? I did return that, and there's well, one, we didn't need it at the time after we hauled our corn, but two, I was having an issue, and it seemed to be between that international mod and this international mod. Uh, well, I guess, sorry, I shouldn't call the the highway tractor a mod. That's came with the Giants Plains and Prairie DLC, but this truck here, although it's a base game truck, this is a modded version of it. And if I deleted this truck off the map, it reduced the lag I was getting around the shop area here, because both trucks happen to be sitting kind of in this vicinity. And if I deleted that one, it got better. But if I kept that one and deleted that international one, it disappeared. But it happened without failure. If I came to drive into the yard from either the field or across the road, I would get a lag spike. Or if I was driving down the road past this area. And basically, what I did is I deleted every mod on the map, so that it was empty, and didn't get that lag spike, and then started up and just started deleting one thing at a time until I found out what was causing it. And like I said, when I deleted this one, which I have to do first, it got better, but didn't go away. When I left this one in and deleted the that other international, it totally went away. And then what I did, just to confirm, is I put the Volvo one in and parked it here in the yard, the Volvo highway tractor, and I had no issue. So we won't, unfortunately, be purchasing that international one. Just they're just not playing together, those two mods, apparently. And I am using that international truck on highway tractor on other maps with no issue at all, but I don't have this mod on those maps. So that's what I'm putting it down to, because I basically deleted one mod at a time and kept repeating the test to find out which one it was, and that's what it came down to. So, too bad, but that's the way she goes. But it was driving me nuts, uh, having to edit that lag spike out all the time, and it even just playing with it. Anyways, sorry, didn't mean to go quite that far down that rabbit hole, but just in case anybody else out there is experiencing that, that's what I found. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. So I thought about borrowing some money and buying a larger chunk of land, like adding it to the funds that we had. But I've actually changed my mind. I think we'll stay debt free for now. I don't think that'll be possible or going forward in the future with some of the land prices. But if we take a look at the map here, Field 9, which happens to have corn in it, is 219,000. So we can pay cash for that. It does bring our bank balance down quite a bit, but we still have some contracts in the bank that you saw, and also some soybean to sell here in June, July timeframe, I think it is. So I don't think there's any risk of us running out of funds. So I think we're going to do that. We're going to buy that and we'll stay debt free for a while. And that will add a little corn acreage to our farm because last year we had corn in field 11 here and soybean in field 14. So we're going to mix those up and we'll put corn in 14 and soybean in the big field. So that is what the plan is. Actually, let's use the magic teleporting device and see what the status of this field is. Oh, obviously just planted because this is the first month we can put corn in. So we've got corn in the ground and oh, of course we don't have any precision data or precision farming data on it because we haven't bought the field yet. We do know it needs rolling though. Well, that's no problem. We shall roll that up and I'll get it scanned. So I'm going to magically teleport back to the shop, hopefully. Oh, nice. Couldn't have worked out better, actually. Okay, you know what I think I'll do is, let's take a little detailed look at these contracts. So we have a fairly good size rolling contract. It's on field 2. You can see that's a pretty good size field. We don't have the biggest roller in the world. It's only a 12 meter. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that one for a day or two and see if any other rolling contracts come in. Because if they do, then maybe we can justify leasing that large in-game roller and do those. But I don't think it's worthwhile for the one field. We'll just put a worker on and let him chug away that one. And we'll call that worker Sam. We'll let him do that. So what I think I'll do is I'm going to set up and I'm going to do these 2 hoeing contracts off camera. They are for field 13, which is straight north of the farm there, that odd shaped one. And then field 17, which is straight south of the home place there along the river. That'll give a chance for that fog to disappear. And in the meantime, I will go up and also scan that field we're going to buy. Actually, let's buy that right now. Field 19, let's make it ours. There we go. So it is now ours. We are down to 135,000. So I'll get that scanned up and we'll see what else it needs besides rolling. I'm pretty sure it's going to need lime and, well, need fertilizer. That's a pretty safe bet. But I will do some of this off camera work and hopefully the fog will lift by then and I'll bring you back and we'll do some on camera farming. So we'll catch up with you probably in a couple hours game time here and hopefully the fog will have cleared. So we'll see you then. We are back. It is just after 10 o'clock in the morning. You can see the fog has lifted somewhat. It's not totally disappeared though. The hoeing contracts that you saw are now complete. And actually, Amanda came down and helped me with those. She's done the majority of the weeding on the farm, actually. She likes that job. While she was doing that, I was busy looking after some other things, one of which was scanning our field and putting lime on it. Now, our money is sitting pretty much right where you saw it when you left because I took the proceeds from the hoeing contracts and bought the scanner. So we now own the scanner. We don't have to lease that. But in the course of getting things organized while Amanda was weeding, I found a Farmer Murphy mistake. Now, I know that's a little hard to believe, but I did. I found one, and I'll show you what it is. I was going to get set up to do our seeding, or planting, I should say, and do you see a planter? Well, you do. If you come over here and look back there, there's our planter, and we've got a grain trailer in the road. Well, really shouldn't be a big deal, except that I returned the truck a while back, so we've got no way to move it. So what I did is I called up Matt, and I'm going to lease a dolly from him. He's going to have it delivered here in a little bit. and we'll move those with one of our tractors. So in the meantime, we're going to jump in our new to us big boy here. We can go inside for this operation and we'll get her fired up. And we are going to head down and we are going to roll our new field. And as it turns out, we did get a rolling contract on the field right beside it. So we can do that one as well. It's the small field number 8. And that's actually the last cheap field we have access to here on the map. I think it's like 128,000. And then after that, we're going to be looking at 400 grand we're going to need for the fields after that. And I'm hoping we get enough contracts here through the summer, or basically we get them here in the spring. We don't get any in the summertime, that we can actually maybe pick that field up. It's got sorghum in it. Really not any use to us, but I guess neither is the corn and soybean. We're just selling those as cash crop too. So we can pick it up and just sell off the sorghum. But I figured we'd be buying new fields. At least I'm hoping every year we can add to them. So that's why I thought, well, you know what, we might as well own the scanner because we're going to need to do scanning every year. I was kind of hoping it would come up used, but it didn't happen. Yeah, we can use steering assist for this. We haven't used that for a while. Yeah, that should be fine. Oh, right. We need the HUD on in order to see the lines. I guess we don't need that though. Let's grab a line here. I guess we better unfold our unit. I've got our back window open to get some fresh air, and allows us to hear the equipment better if there's something, I don't know, if something bad happens. All right, I think we are good to go. Now for these little fields, this roller works just fine. And you can see we have 3 rolling contracts. So one is this field here, like basically the smallest field on the map, one right to my left there that we're looking at. That's one. And then a field 17, which is not that big a field either. It's the one that's just straight south of the farm across the road there. And then the big one. And I just, you know what, I just don't think they're valuable enough yet at this point to justify leasing that big roller. I'll do this other field here that's right beside us just because we're here and we're so handy, we're so close to it. But the other ones I'm just going to sit on and see if we get some more rolling contracts in to justify that big roller. If we don't, as I mentioned before, we'll voluntold Sam that he's going to roll that big field. But we got the entire month to do that, so I'm sure he'll be happy about that. Now I'm thinking that this tractor has, I think it's spot on 400 horsepower. So not quite as much as our 2-tracked 8RT. Come on. Oh, I see. Just grab that little line. on the corner. There we go. But I'm thinking it will still do the carting job for us. And the advantage to that is that it's got a faster speed. It's about 10 kilometers an hour faster than the two-tracked RT. So, for carting operations, that little extra speed will be nice in the field. And of course, it has to pick up any of the jobs that the Deutz was doing. Jobs like we're doing right now. Although, truth be told, we could have used the 6R to do this. Oh, yeah. It didn't change the texture. I would have thought it would have done that, but it didn't. Oh well, no big deal. Good thing we're using steering assist. Okay, so we need to jump over here. And we'll grab this one now. I do like the LSW tires. Kind of a sucker for any tractor that has those on them, I have to admit. Oh, looks like we got a little rain coming in the forecast. So we got a pretty nice fleet of John Deere tractors now. We still have the 7810. It lives up here at the home place. It's in the, I don't know if we can see it if we look across. Yep, the red barn there. It's our loading tractor. And once we get the cows, it's going to be pressed into service a whole lot more. But right now, it's kind of our spare. Do a little, I guess you call it the carting of the rocks. When we're doing rock picking, that it's often the tractor I use on the trailer because the other tractors are tied up. This roller is a little slow to lower. Gotta be a little careful about that. I'll double check afterward we haven't missed any spots. Now we're gonna have to fertilize all of these, our fields, because we're gonna have put our corn and soybean in. And I think I'll end up just leasing the John Deere sprayer, the pull behind one again that we used last time. We don't have the funds to buy a self-propelled sprayer. And when you use course play with it, it actually works pretty good because it doesn't back up. You can set it so it just does a spiral like we're doing around the field, so it usually doesn't get hung up on trees and that. Course play is much better at spraying than I am with those pull type ones. So we'll let it do it. That's what we'll do to fertilize our fields. Okay, I'm sure we've gone around, so now we can do the up downs here. Looks to me there is a slight change in the texture that we missed a little strip there that we've got to go back and get. Now, I think I've mentioned it before. I have it on pretty good authority that we could actually fertilize while we're seeding with the crop sensors on, and everything would be just fine. I usually wait until the following month till the crop is up, because when you read about the way those crop sensors work, they actually need the in real life, they need the plant to be out of the ground. And so it's just, I think, a more realistic way to do it. So as long as we've got the, shoot, what's this? No, that is the next one. As long as we've got the time, I think we'll just continue to do that rather than fertilize while we're seeding her. And I'd like to get a big self-propelled sprayer to use on this map anyway. Down we go. We could probably actually plant with this tractor too if we wanted to. It has enough horsepower, but we got that 2-track 8RT that we bought specifically for planting, so that's what we'll use. All right, guys, you know what? I think I'm going to leave you there. I want to have some time left. I want to do a little planting before we wrap this episode up. So I will take care of this job, and I will see you in a few minutes once it's done, and we'll do some planting. So we'll catch up with you in a little bit. Well, we're back here at the farm. Our lease dolly was sitting here waiting for us, so we can now get this trailer out of the road, and I think we can get away with just moving this one, I believe. We'll pull it out of here and we'll take a look. Let's take a look, see here. Oh yeah, no problem. No problem at all for a wheelman such as myself. So I will get the planter out of there and ready to go, and we'll put some crop in the ground. I think I would have liked to done our big field, but we're putting soybeans in there, and we're going to put corn where we put the soybeans. Like we already showed planting the soybeans, or sorry, yeah, it's correct, planting the soybeans. I guess it really doesn't matter. You can't tell the difference. Anyways, I probably need to top it up with seed, do a little maintenance on it, so I'll get all that done, and I'll catch up with you when we're ready to get going in the field. So we'll see you in just a little bit. Okay, we are set up here. We are on our new field, which means we need to put soybeans in here. But it doesn't really make much of a difference. I mean, it looks the same. And we'll have plenty of opportunity to see us plant corn. Now, I forgot to mention that the dolly, it cost us less than $1,000 to lease that. And so I'm just going to hang on to it until we get our truck so we can move those trailers around, because it's not a ton of money. And we will need to get our truck, do something, either lease or purchase. Oh, what is it? July, I think? July or August, we need to sell our soybeans. I guess technically we could do it with a dolly and a tractor, but we'll get a truck. Either lease it, or if we have a good contract spring, buy it. I think that's probably where I'll bring you back in, actually, is when it's time to sell the beans off. Now, I know technically should be doing the headlands last. Yeah, I guess, you know what, we could actually do that. We haven't gone to, we've just done this edge. So if we, now we need to get a cab here to see. Lift that up. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Wanted to back up. Try and keep from running over the neighbor's field there. Because I believe that's the way you do it, is you do the headlands last. So we'll do these up downs. Well, I personally find it more convenient to do the headland first, but yeah, we'll do it this way. We'll do it proper. I guess we can go back inside again. So we'll have to roll this field, this one, and our cornfield next door. And then next month we're full up. Next month we'll fertilize them. Not quite as busy in the spring, it seems like, as it is in the fall, when we've got all the harvest contracts and that to do. Should we get to the end of this row, we'll just jump in quick and see if any more contracts have shown up, because it's afternoon already. Something like that should be good. Let's just take a look and see. Do we get any other contract offers? No, sir. Would think there would be some more weeding that would be required. Weeding and or hoeing type contracts. Interesting. Obviously, well, I guess that's probably their own short lines over there. I'll come back and clean those up off camera. We'll continue to work on these long lines. Come back and clean it up with the headlands. I guess we can take a look at this operation from outside the gap. Better get swung around here so I can see where I'm going. Oops. As I mentioned before, I do like these 2 tracks for doing this kind of job because they got such a nice turning radius on them. So this tractor has 458 kind of peak horsepower versus 400 in our older wheeled 8R. But other than the drive system, that's the only difference between them. But it's still like more than 10% more horsepower. But our wheeled one is 10 kilometers an hour faster, so that'll be nice in the field. And I don't think it'll have any issue with that grain cart that we had last year. Hoping not, anyway. Zoom in here and take a close look at the planter at work. I'm going to have to look. The zoom feature on that I'm using here is so fast. I'd like to slow that down. I mean, sometimes when you're playing the game, it's handy, but when you're trying to do something like that, I wish I could slow it down. But I'm actually using the control on my wheel to do that, actually. And away we go again. It's an on-off. It's not a scaled input, I guess you'd say. That looks pretty cool, going down the field, watching the animations. Whoops. I didn't need to slow down. Can actually keep the pedal to the metal. There's that handsome devil in there. Oh. Somebody turned the planter off. I wonder who did that. You take another look from inside. Better to be out of cab when we come down to the end, then we can kind of turn around in the same spot so it doesn't look so uneven. Not that it really matters. As long as we're inside our headland, we're fine. But, I suppose I better leave you there because I'm pretty sure we've used up all our time for this episode. Time flies when you're having fun, as they say. But I will get our fields in and get them rolled. I will likely fertilize them too off camera. I'm pretty sure we showed that last time. We used it, and like I said, I'm just going to lease that same John Deere pull behind sprayer that we used last time. And I will bring you back in when it's time to sell the beans, which will be in the middle. I can't remember if I think it's July. Seems to me is the time we want to sell them. And we'll have seen where we're at contract wise by that point, and we'll see where we're at financially once we get the beans sold. So that is when I'll meet up with you next, and that'll likely just be the start of that episode, and then we'll jump ahead to harvest after that. So if you're still with me, I really appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, I encourage you to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want to see when other content like this lands, why hit that old notification bell. But for this episode, here on Monteith, it's Farmer Murphy signing off.